Hello, welcome to Karen's Cut. To put it bluntly, another way of thinking. Why I am the way I am, 12-13, socially. I'd like to start by telling you about our Eleanor. If you've seen the first Karen's Cut, Why I Am the Way I Am, 7 years old, you'll know that my sister was considered stupid when she started school, as she's left-handed. Now, obviously, I don't know what the primary told the comprehensive school, but she was put into the bottom class. No worries, no pasa nada, if that's the way it's meant to be. But in that first year, they moved her up 2 classes. So it wasn't meant to be, was it? And those other left-handers? I have to point out here that I was brought up with a working class father who told me that that meant that I was working class and I should never forget where I come from. So any further education, art college, uni, etc. wasn't happening. It wasn't even talked about in our house. But again, no worries, no pasa nada. But with that in mind. When I was 12, my mother passed her driving test. My father had never driven. I was fascinated. It was also this time I visited a friend's house. All around the tops of her bedroom wall, she had these dolls in cylindrical tubes, all in national dress. I'll always remember the Turkish one. Fascinated. Oh, I didn't want her dolls. Oh no, didn't want the dolls. I wanted her dad's job. You see, her dad was a long-distance lorry driver. Now, at the time, end of the 70s, the UK was a member of what the majority of the UK believed to be, at the time, the EEC. There were 9 members in all. Not only was he able to drive to and through, but beyond these countries, hence the Turkish doll. And all without a sat-nav. Fascinating. You could drive for a living, you could be your own boss without responsibilities, you could get to travel, see all these wonderful countries and meet all these incredible cultures and people. Fascinating. So I went about finding out how to become a long-distance lorry driver. Back then, you had to be 21 for your HGV1 and very, very expensive. The alternative was to join the forces. Now, I don't know why, because he would never say. But my working class father, who did his national service in the army, thank you Dad, wouldn't let me join the army. So I took myself into town, jumped for a square to the RAF office, where the nice RAF man told me I didn't need any qualifications to join the RAF. I'd have to have a medical and pass an aptitude test. He gave me a basic one there and then, on the results of which he said he couldn't see no reason why I shouldn't join up at 17 and 3 months. Sorted. Plan A. Fast forward, and I'm choosing the subjects for my qualifications. This is Plan B. Because you should always have a Plan B, shouldn't you? Anyway. Back then, like now, maths and English language compulsory. Totally understand. We also had a compulsory science. Now, I know that physics would have helped in the understanding of the running of the motor engine, but I ain't no Sheldon for the rest of it, so I chose biology. Because at least you could have a laugh when the teacher had to say, penis and vagina, and the penis goes into the vagina. They still laugh today. Nothing changes. Then, because of the class I was in, school, not social, English literature was compulsory for me. Now, before all you word book people kick off, English literature had no role in my future whatsoever. And I thought that as I was planning my future, So somebody else in my year was planning their future that did involve English literature. But because of the class they were in, they weren't allowed to take it. So I offered to drop English literature and give it to somebody who would benefit from it in their future. Oh no. No. That wasn't happening. So then we was given a piece of paper, 4 boxes, list of subjects in each box, choose one subject from each box. Plan B again, yeah? So I chose art. Check out Karen's World, Fuerteventura on Facebook. Design, craft and technology, technical drawing and material science. For those who'd like to know, material science tells you all about what you're using in design, craft and technology. Now I thought that was a nice little group, don't you? No. Oh no, I was called into the headmistress's office. That's where Kermit's wife lived. And I was told that I had to drop one of my, and I quote, arty-farty subjects and take another academic subject. Why? Because I got academic brain, man. Yeah, she told me you got academic brain, Karen. Got to take academic subject, Karen. Define academic for me. I explained my situation and my plan, but that didn't cut any ice. As I've already explained, I had no parental backup as far as my father was concerned. I was leaving at school at 16 to get a job, earn my keep, and as long as I could read, write and add up, no pasa nada. So under duress, I dropped material science and I took classical studies. There was a reason I took classical studies, and that reason is why I've hated that headmistress to this day. You'll find out in the next social one why. To put it bluntly, do they listen today, do they? Do they? Now, when I was 12, we had 3 television channels and the radio. So you basically watched what your parents watched. A lot of news. The news was always on, always on. But it made you aware of the world around you, different countries, cultures, races, religions, etc. This was the time before Google and the internet, when the majority of the world believed what their leaders, whether political or religious, told them. And then the mighty media. Because of course there was no fake news back then, was there? Now, coming from Wales, most Sunday afternoons were wet, spent on the settee, watching the old black and white on BBC Two. It was this time that I would see a film that would have a major impact on the way I think about this crazy, crazy world. This one. Fiddler, Karen? Are you Jewish? No? Do you want to be Jewish? No? What's the score then? Not only are there phrases throughout this film that are relevant to the era the film is set in, but even with Google and the internet, they are relevant today and will be tomorrow. For example,
you may ask, how did this tradition get started? I'll tell you. I don't know. But it's a tradition. And because of our traditions, every one of us knows who he is and what God expects him to do.
Sorry. That could be any religion. It could be any culture, hey? And then this one.
And it won't make one bit of difference if I answer right or wrong. When you're rich, they think you really know.
Every country in the world has got them ones, haven't they? And then this one.
Huddle! Oh, Huddle! Have I made a match for you? He's handsome. He's young. All right, he's 62, but he's a nice man. A good catch. True? True. I promise you'll be happy. And even if you're not, there's more to life than that. Don't ask me what.
Yenta, yenta, yenta. The original Tinder. It would be funny if it wasn't still happening today and will be tomorrow. How old are them girls in the Yemen? North of England, for example. And then there's this one.
How can I turn my back on my faith, my people? If I try and bend that far, I'll break.
Working class, never forget where you come from. Working class feminist. But I liked it most of all for this one.
Look! Who is this?
Who is this? Who comes here?
What woman is this? My righteous anger shaken.
Could it be?
Sure.
Yes, it could.
Why not?
Who could be mistaken?
It's the butcher's wife come from beyond the grave.
Who is it?
It's the butcher's dear darling departed wife. From the Sarah, from the Sarah, from the Sarah.
The dream scene. Check it out. Fantastic. Right, it's time to move along now to Karen's Cut, to put it bluntly, another way of thinking, why I am the way I am, 12-13 domestically. I'll see you there.